All right, this is it. ARC official day one. Feeling a little bit antsy. Don't know how this is all going to work out, but we shall see. Fit check. Okay. Can make adjustments once I arrive if need be, but all right, I just want to be comfortable. Yeah. So we'll see who's around, and we'll get the day going. Waiting for my Uber. My Uber budget is probably blown, but such is life. Outside my hotel here, and yeah, what am I feeling? What am I thinking? I already said I was feeling a little bit antsy back in the hotel, but you know, get over this hump, get over that feeling, and kind of get into a groove. I was able to do that and feel that in Galway, just when you're doing something new and when you start over, it's a challenge. So, okay, let's onward and upward. Let's see if we got a little London here. Just kind of a, I don't know. It's a spot. Early start to your weekend.
Huh?
Early start to your weekend?
What do you mean?
I don't know. You get going early on a
Same.
every day?
Around half 7, yeah.
Yeah?
No early. Not too early.
Not too early.
Not too early.
You had any coffee yet?
Huh?
Any coffee yet?
Yeah, I had breakfast. That's why I'm coming outside.
Okay.
I live around here. That's why.
Yeah,
I
close.
Just started.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. How's it going so far?
Yeah, not bad. It's London, quite busy.
Yeah.
Road busy. You know what I mean?
So you asked if I support Trump.
I say it's a bit aggressive politician. And
Yeah, he is. I don't know if he's a politician. I mean, I think that's kind of part of the deal. But
still, he come to
what
president.
are your thoughts?
I don't live in America. That
Yeah, you don't want to have an opinion?
I think the people they're choosing him. Sometimes the people they're aggressive when they come in the in government. Then maybe it's different. In the beginning, he say, oh, "I want to do this." Then when things just here, he take it back again.
Oh yeah.
Like it's even for 25% extra thing is on the like Canada and China.
Oh, the tariffs?
And the tariff, yeah, and they reverse it back again. Then when it come in the power, think about
Well,
like here, couple of years, so many prime ministers change. Every 2-3 years, prime minister change.
I guess I'm kind of the opinion that there needs to be change, and I don't think any like real change could happen with the way things have been. So he definitely is a change, and I think they're going to change a lot of stuff. So some of it I'm probably think is good. Some of it I may have some disagreements, but I'm definitely not like pulling my hair out, screaming, no. Some people are upset, really upset, but yeah.
At the moment, it don't like act a president. It act like like a gangster. Trump.
Who, me?
Trump.
What about
Donald Trump?
What about him?
Like he say, I want a Greenland area. I want to do. He want to say, I need a Greenland. Denmark, Greenland.
Greenland, oh yeah.
Even Panama.
Yeah, all
They say,
that
"I wanna
stuff.
grab this one."
I think that he says things in a certain
that's what I'm
way to
saying.
get
He
people
act
to get
like
the
act,
to get the news to do a certain thing, and they still are
He
kind
make
of.
it news, yeah, it's true.
And then he gets something else that he maybe really wants, which is, you know,
Also, it's going good
yeah,
in future.
he's got some intuitions about
Maybe if
all that stuff.
introduced to like media and living in the news.
Yeah, he has savvy in a certain way, but it's not the way that people are used to or appreciate, or a lot of people appreciate. It's funny, I took my Uber from the airport last night, and that was one of the first questions everyone's. About Trump. You know, if I'm from the States, what do you think about Trump? And you know, in the States, people don't actually probably want to talk about it because it's more contentious there. I think here it's kind of more of like an opinion, you know, just like, it's. But there, people get, they can get heated.
Heathrow Airport?
What's that? Yeah, it was a long.
Heathrow.
Yeah, Heathrow. Yeah, so we had a long time to talk. But yeah.
How long you stay here?
What's that?
How many days you stay?
How many days I stay? I leave Thursday. So, all right.
They pick you up. It's very close.
Okay.
The XL.
Yeah. Which direction? Is it on the right?
You got two entrances, one eastern and western. No, this is western.
The one where all the people are going to be at. I don't know.
Most of it's the main entrance of this side. Western
Okay.
entrance.
All right. Do you have any thoughts about the U.S. in general?
I don't live in USA now.
Sure.
And I don't have like.
Big opinions?
Most of the people, when they're living and they have a traveling to eat, then they have an opinion. Otherwise, normally they talk to each other country like politics mostly.
Yeah.
Or
well, then it's
some
probably
kind of other thing.
we probably don't have enough time to ask you your opinion on British politics.
Yeah. Like British politics, that's what I'm saying. A couple of years here, every 2 years they change the prime minister.
Yep.
I mean, last 6-7 years, maybe 4 or 5 prime ministers in this country.
Yeah, but the king only changes once every about 100 years, apparently. Oh, or 75 years. Oh, hello. All right. Is it up ahead?
It's all XL.
All right.
Entrance is up there.
Thank you very much. All right, so I made it to the entrance here. See if we can find any familiar faces here in a little bit. A little early, so. All right. Very long hallway here. Lots of arc signs. I pulled out the selfie stick and was asked to put it back up, so I did. So now we're just FaceTiming. All right, I'm here with Benjamin Boyce, who I've had on the channel. We're in the high-powered elite pre-conference area. I asked him if he would be my first interview. He asked me the question, why am I here?
Yeah.
What is my project? And I turned it around and asked him the same question. Why are you here?
I don't know yet. I'm looking for some sort of opportunity.
Yeah, that
So
sounds about
I'm
right.
not sure. I'm just trying to be as open as possible.
Yeah, and you've got your lovely wife here hanging out.
It's there.
Well, thanks for being my first question.
Sure.
I'll probably have a better one for you later. I'll
All right.
bug you. I'll track
Well,
you down.
let's get this party started.
I actually signed up for a different one and I changed it. That's not a great angle.
Selfie, taking a selfie. Mention invoice.
Thank you, everyone. It's quite the miracle to see you all here. So what is the defining characteristic of this civilizational moment that lays out the narrative principles upon which free Western societies are founded? Is an elaborated exploration of the theme of sacrifice. Taken at face value, the dramas of sacrifice that are portrayed in our foundational texts have an impenetrable and opaque quality. What does it mean to offer something of value to the divine? It's a drama that's predicated on the realization that sacrifice is by necessity the foundation of civilization. Civilization is social and future-oriented, and that means, since it's social, that the individuals who come together to constitute society have to sacrifice their narrow, pleasure-seeking individuality, demanding gratification in the moment, for the sake of their mutual reciprocal relationships with others, locally first, in marriage, in family, in town, in city, expanding to province and state and country, nested all under the auspices, let's say, of the divine. That's a sacrificial process. It means foregoing the narrowly immediate for the sake of the community. It means equally a sacrificial process in relationship to time. The distinguishing characteristic of maturity as opposed to immaturity, and wisdom as opposed to folly, is the ability to sacrifice the immediate demands of the present for the future. To think before you act, to act with caution so you don't have to repent at leisure. It's a sacrificial process.
You gave your story, we heard your side. There was a plea of innocence and alibi. Oh, drowning in the fountain pen you've poured. It's on your memories, you make your claim. And as you've done to others, you have us to do the same. It's on your memories.
I found all the people that I know here now. I felt lost in the front room. There was we got Ups, Jordan Hall, we've got Bethel McGrew, More Christ. Everybody's here. Rafe Kelley, Martin Shaw, Paul VanderKlay. Who we got over there? Somebody over there? Oh, and Jordan Peterson is let's see. Apparently he's close at hand over there. So this is ARC 2025. We're up. Let's take a. Who are we gonna give a shout out to? Is Grim Grizz.
Green, Chad, Afra, Nils, and everyone share it.
Yeah, TLC's here with us.
Stories started as myths, they're not always true, but there's sort of a lot of complexity in this web of symbolic systems, and that it's maybe, it's sort of like a 3-year-old or even younger, you start to somehow get embedded in this rich symbolic matrix, and that's radically distinctive about human identity. And I just like that Noam Chomsky, probably did too much with linguistics and pushed the arguments too hard, but those seemed not implausible ways to think of the world in 2122. And so yes, I think it is within that sort of a framework, it's quite disorienting, what it means to be a human being. I think there is probably a Christian response to this, where our value in Christian, in a sort of, let's say, a classical Christian worldview, doesn't have to do with language speaking ability, or your IQ. If your IQ is less than 130, you're not fully human, or something like this. It is somehow, it's somehow that you're made in the image of God. There's a way that you have a kind of relationship with God, with the transcendent, with Jesus Christ, and that's sort of the way humanity gets defined. And so I think there were sort of a lot of classical humanist ways to define human beings. I think those have gotten exploded. I think in a way the more Christian ones are the only ones are ones that are still left standing. I always think there's in the philosophy of history, there's always sort of a question what Descartes was doing with his theories of dualism and sort of the mind and the body. You had these two separate kinds of things, and there are ways that we look back on Cartesianism as having you're not just a material being, you're a spirit, and there's sort of ways we make it anti-materialist when we think about it in the 20th or 21st century. But I often think that maybe a critique of Descartes I have is that I believe it was a politically atheist project from the beginning, in that if you were a smart person in the 17th century, you were supposed to think about God, maybe become a priest, think about God. And it was basically, you can think of Cartesianism as a hypnotic magic trick, where he redirected your attention from God to this very mysterious thing called the mind. And it's very hard to get a handle on your mind. Obviously, it's a hard problem with consciousness. We don't quite know what it is. It's very hard to get a feel on it. But by redirecting people's attention, from the external, from the transcendent God, to this sort of interiority, you can spend the rest of your life in inner space. And this is kind of the trick that, in a way, I would say Descartes pulled on us. And I think there's a way that maybe we can rethink this as well.
Identity, in a way, since it defines what you are, or you could make that case, sounds like something static, but the identity that you're referring to is a continually upward transforming identity towards something ineffable in the
and you know that because
realm.
one of the issues we have now is that we don't know where to place our identity. And there's a fight between identities. Identity is the most explosive subject that you can talk about. Whether it's talking about the idea of what a nation is, what a person is, what gender is,
what sexuality
all
is.
of these are related to identity. And if we don't have this vertical, there's a competition. Where do I put my identity? Is it my whims? Is it my nation? Is it my sexual preference? Is it my family? Is it, where do we put it? And we've been seeing a fight of identities for the past decades. And we don't know how to address it because there's so many taboos around it.
Well, let's return to, this is even true for the more profound psychoanalysts like Carl Jung. We've tended to think of identity as something that's in your head, like it's a state of your mind. It's something you carry around internally, and that's part of that emphasis on the individual. But there are elements of identity that are core, that are clearly not in your head. In fact, the most fundamental elements of identity are likely found in relationship. Yeah. So you're married, so that's your identity. You're a husband or a wife. You're a father or a mother in relationship to your children. You're a family in relationship to your local community, and you're a local community in relationship to your city, in relationship to the state, in relationship to the natural order, and then all of that under God. And I've increasingly been viewing proper identity as the harmony between all those embedded relational systems. And that's very different than the identity that you carry around in your head. Like, you're mentally healthy if your brain works properly. And there's something deeply wrong about that.
Because it's embodied participation. That's how we know what we are. We can experience it more easily when we talk about how we're part of our nation or part of our family. It's not just, I'm a father. I'm a father because I embody that role in the world with my children. And that's what makes me a good father, because identity is also an aim. And so that is the difference. That's why AI will always be a supplement, because it doesn't want anything. It only wants what we tell it to want. It has no body, it has no death, it has nothing, it has no drives. And so even the fact that we're confusing these AI models with true intelligence and true agency means that we've completely forgotten what it is to be human.
I think I'm more optimistic than you about AI making us forget that we're human. I think what will actually happen is that it will force the metaphysical issue. And we will learn the hard way. We'll spend plenty of time getting confused until we learn to draw the distinction between computation and comprehension. But eventually it will force the metaphysical issue. In much the same way as we did our best to technologize Eros through the sexual revolution. And we did our best to technologize Thumos through the technologies of recognition in social media, in all these different ways of constructing a self to be recognized digitally on the internet as this creature of pure abstraction, which has given us sort of the Great Awakening, briefly, and hopefully now over. Maybe. And we're going to have a go at technologizing Logos. That's what the AI revolution, that's what the doomers think the AI revolution is going to do, that we're somehow going to replace ourselves with a superintelligence. It's not going to happen. In the same way as the technologization of Eros and Thumos just produces a sort of strange simulacrum, but it doesn't actually supplant the real thing, and it doesn't really nourish us. It doesn't really, it doesn't really improve on what we are. Neither will our technological simulacrum of Logos, and eventually it will force the issue, and we'll work our way through the hard way to figuring out the difference.
Well, it's late in the day. I haven't done a lot of filming today. I did one mini interview, so goal not accomplished today. But today's energy was like, I don't know. I don't think people just wanted people to walk up with a camera in their face today. So. We'll see about tomorrow, but I'm like extremely tired today. I think Mo asked me on the live stream that I popped on with him yesterday if like big crowds zap my energy. Well, there's a lot of energy flowing in this high-powered ARC conference. So I don't know, there's just a lot going on, but I've had some nice conversations with people that I've had on the podcast, people from the corner. Paul did this thing where he invited a bunch of people over to a corner, and that's where Upcycle was over there, and Marcus from More Christ, and Bethel McGrew, and Rafe Kelley, and I bumped into John Lumgar. He's running a camera, doing interviews. He had just was, they were interviewing Peterson for Fox News or after the first session. And what else? I don't know. This is just a lot of people, lots of energy. So we'll do like a little, I'll do a little view. So it's just like, we're in one of the big convention halls here. This is, where booths are for people, and then they have these different like sections where they're labeled, like meeting section, there it is. I can't get up there. Area, that sign that says ARC on the left there says like area 1. And there's like 4 or 5 of those areas that people can kind of like congregate in. And then this is like the lobby area, and to get into the actual conference is, well, it's under that ARC sign on the left over there in the convention room. And so we'll see about tomorrow doing more. So it's really just like a standard conference fare. And as I was turning on the camera, I kind of been to a lot of Christian conferences, used to play music at a lot of mini conferences and large conferences and camps. And so that's like my experience. And there really is, like a worship, an evangelical worship service liturgy. You have like kind of opener introductions, icebreaker-y type things, and then there's a band, and then that leads into, and then a break usually, and that leads into like a long form lecture, and then there's like usually breakout groups. And I feel like that they aren't able to really accomplish, they have so many speakers that they aren't really able to accomplish anything generally substantive in those like ideas that aren't just already sound bites out there related to at least the parts that I've attended with like Peterson and Peugeot and stuff. But there's the middle plenary sessions today were just basically, they were like energy and commerce, and I just hung out and talked to people. But yeah, just like I understand Paul's critique, and I think he's, there's a bird. There's a pigeon that just flew through here. So, yeah, Paul's critique, I get it. And there's something to like the ratio of speaking and lecture and trying to get people aimed at something. But like the first part of this is just people catching up that know each other, like when they're hanging out. And I've seen people from Symbolic World that I met, and so I think those are some of the things to think about as we, the more influential people that are planning the Midwest Estuary. I know they're really thinking deeply about this. So, I think that's good. Yeah, but there's just a lot going on. It's very distracting to try to like focus on a conversation. And let's see. And earlier on in the day, I also was thinking about how self-conscious I felt related to all the suits and sports jackets that are here. And being that guy, that's been one of the things that I've been curious about is, that thing. So, look, I'm not alone. There's somebody else doing a podcast interview over here. A little mini one there in the background. I have no idea what they're talking about, but yeah, and there's interviews going on all over the place. There's one happening right here. Yeah, they're in an interview. Camera's going. So, I think mainly just like the feelings of I didn't want to be like a camera first thing, and you just don't know what people are thinking and feeling, and so I was trying to figure all that stuff out, and seeing. But anyways, I'm gonna sign off for right now. Paul VanderKlay, what are your initial thoughts, ARC Day 1?
Watch my video from after ARC Day 1 last year. Everything in that video still holds. Number 2, I don't think they learned anything. They clearly didn't watch my videos. They clearly didn't take it to heart. The value of this conference is between the 4,000 amazing human beings that are here, and they are not doing much to facilitate. There's Bethel McGrew. She has to jump. The value of this conference is between people, and they still have not really figured out how to facilitate that. And in fact, what enraged me, which now CBAX knows why I don't drink, because I don't drink to maintain impulse control, because I had an impulse that I repressed. Because even in I skipped the evening things last time. I didn't go to any of them. No, I did go to one. But even last year was far better than this year. But this thing that they put us in for supposedly maximizing our relationship with one another was the most inhospitable, inhuman. And then they had the nerve to get us in there with food and drink and yell at us for stopping. I mean, it was complete bait and switch. They say, come in here and you'll be able to mix with anybody. And they didn't set up the mixing at all, because what they did was they had a stage and they're like, ding, 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 stop talking with one another so we can spend this next time yelling at you about whatever agenda we have. And
it was crazy. I hated it.
And God bless them and their agenda. My argument is not with their agenda. My argument is I don't think they have thought through what they are doing. There's the rant that will go viral.
Just ignored it and kept talking with
Wait.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
No,
I'm just taking over the show. Some of us just ignored it and kept talking with each other. So like I met these 2 geeky guys who do stop motion animation, and we were just like in the way back. We couldn't even hear what they were saying on the stage, and we just talked about like animation and art and stuff. It was really sweet, and so we just ignored whatever. So like, I don't know what they're thinking or why. It's like, this is the designated time to talk to people.
To mix.
Right.
There's no other time like this at the whole conference.
They need an estuary-like thing. So tomorrow I am going to implement estuary. The estuary side stream is happening tomorrow. I talked about it today, but I was a little nervous. I didn't know if anybody was going to. And then people said, when are we doing the estuary? But I couldn't do it at 4 o'clock because I had to listen to Peugeot. I had to support my boy Peugeot. I had to be in there. I had to see Mary Harrington. I sat next to Bethel. I got her commentary the whole time. It was unrecorded.
I recorded it.
Oh, she recorded it. Oh, she's got her commentary. But tomorrow we are, in fact, going to implement the ARC Estuary Side Stream project because the people are demanding it.
It's true.
The people are demanding it. In fact, at one point late in the afternoon, I heard they're looking for you, Paul. They want to know where you're doing the estuary, and I couldn't because that was Peugeot's time. But tomorrow, it is happening. Not in the morning. I'm going to go to the first session, but then the middle of the day, or a lot of the middle of the day, we will be doing estuary.
I have a podcast for like 2 that I have to do with Justin Brierley, but I want to do estuary, so I'm pretty sure he wants to record at 2 o'clock, and he tells me it'll only be half an hour, and so hopefully that won't overlap too much.
He's good to his word on those kind of things.
He is good to his word, yeah.
He is the boss. This for Justin Brierley has to be like shooting fish in a barrel. I mean, this is what Justin Brierley lives for.
Yes.
This is like Justin Brierley. He's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be a wealthy man. I can do podcasts forever just from the people in this room.
That's true. Thank you, Paul. We're going to get more corner content tomorrow, more man on the streets.
Boyce.
I got Benjamin. He was my first this morning.
Oh, good.
So, yeah, because he was the first person I saw that
You should get him in.
Yeah, dude, come here. You're working here at ARC, right?
Yes.
As a help, and remind me of your name.
I'm Elliot.
Elliot.
Paul VanderKlay is so famous that they have taught all the people with these white ARC shirts, they've told them they have to watch every single one of my videos, and they are tested on it.
It was required. It was required watching for pre-ARC for him to watch PVK.
Yeah, I'm the little corner guy inside ARC.
He's the plant.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the agent.
It's not just here. I try to do stuff all over. But yes, it's fun.
Awesome. Well, dude, thank you so much, man. All right, till tomorrow. So, made it to ARC day 1. Made it through ARC day 1. Man, what a day. Oh. Silence isn't very good for content, but let's see. So I get there, and the first person I see is that I recognize, and who thankfully recognized me, was Benjamin Boyce, which y'all saw that in the video. But I just hopped in line with him, and we just kind of connected. And you know, it's interesting. You have a 2-hour conversation with somebody on the internet, you know, and you know 2 hours worth of somebody, so it's not nothing. And you just can take the conversation forward. So that was really nice. He was there with his wife, and sat with them for the first plenary session, and you might have caught that in the video too. But you know, ARC's a lot of things, and I keep coming back to a conversation I had with Neil Daedalus about ARC and about, I think, his hopes for Midwest estuary, and what are we doing, and I've been to a lot of conferences, large conferences with 60,000 people, 10,000 people, 6,000 people. This one was 4,000. And usually in those conferences, well, this is interesting. This is an insight that's just come to me. Church conferences, you take a group and you are a group at a bigger group, in a bigger group. But conferences like Estuary and conferences like ARC is a bunch of individuals coming to a place. And then you find your group. But even still, oh man, there's a lot going through my mind. And I am exhausted after Galway and now here, and I am not as young a man as I once was. So let's see. I had a long conversation with Rafe Kelley and Paul about Jordan's first talk at ARC, and it was an interesting thing to watch because his eyes were closed most of the time. The thing to me, they thought it was bad, and I don't know what it is. I heard so many things that are true, that have been true, and that have helped me in it. And he was maybe circling or hovering around the gospel in a way, and around the cross of Christ. And I mean, in some ways, his talks were the most Christian that I've heard, almost explicitly. But I think it was hard. I sat down next to this reporter during one of the break sessions, and she's like, "What is this about? What is he talking about?" And I tried to give some defense, but I don't know. I think I still see a person in process, and a person who knows, maybe he's trying to be too careful with his words or something, but maybe trying to hold to that. I don't know. let's see. So one of the most interesting things that happened is Paul, and he put it out on Twitter too. He made this document, so a lot of y'all probably saw it. That was like, hey, I'm going to try to do estuary here at the conference, and like, I had like 3 people just ask me, hey, do you know where Paul's doing estuary? Like, Benjamin heard about it, Bethel did, somebody else. And it was like people were just looking and craving for some kind of relational organization to this. But the organization is all centered around the stage and the speakers. And in my conversation that I had with Rafe on our podcast, on the Yours Truly episode, I did mention to him about church camp. And this has got my brain all going back to those, their week-long conferences, you know, and a lot of Rafe's conversation about like embodied experiences related to like trust exercises and in camp recreation, and then that's like connects to the Bible study, and then you build trust with God, and then you build trust with your group and your community, and you're eating together and you're playing games together. It's just, there's something to that liturgy that is powerful, that people keep going to, that experience it. Church camp high. There's a lot of cynicism related to that in our modern culture, but as I reflect and I come to this kind of space, it's like you have all these ideas, and then you just have people with their ideas. It's very, there was a lot of talk about the breakdown, the modern enlightenment and postmodern breakdown of society into the atomization and disintegration and fragmentation, and they talk about it, but then there wasn't a way to go and coalesce other than just hear the people talk about it. And Paul's critique and Rafe's critique was to do something with that. And so Paul has scheduled an actual estuary, and he said that I asked him if I could film it. And so we're going to do a film, but without audio. So just a little, if you made it this far in the video, then you know. So I'm excited about that, and to capture that in this space and feel like what I brought here with trying to do some of this media, like connect it to the corner, give it meaning and purpose. And so, what else went on today? I was very camera shy, not from the camera, but to pull out my camera. I kind of got this sense, after my video, that unfortunately I thought it was going to release today, and then I think I fell asleep before it uploaded last night, and so I'm going to have to re-upload it and try to get it out. Why am I telling you this? It'll be up before you see this one, but anyways, that's why it's late. And but I was, gun shy, camera shy, to get in people's faces with the camera, where yesterday, it was yesterday, McMo, when I hopped on their live stream, he was like, it's amazing how much shame Christian doesn't have to go and just pop up and raise people. And there's a lot going on that you don't see, obviously, but, I try to tactfully do that stuff over time, and like I kind of set the stage for it, talked to a few people about maybe doing some of that. So, we'll get more of that. I did a little bit of it today, as you've already seen, but yeah, it was intense to be like, are you going to be that guy? Or just like I was so self-conscious this morning. And spending time, Paul also made this, like, he found a corner in the big room. I think I put that in there, and a lot of people from the corner gathered in the corner, and it was kind of, there were Symbolic World people hanging out over there, so it was kind of this vibe thing. And and then everyone kind of went back in when Jonathan Peugeot was, most of the corner people like skipped the lecture, the energy and economy and commerce lecture, and we went back into the AI and identity lecture that Jordan had with Peter Thiel, and then the Unheard editor, I can't remember her name, and Jonathan Peugeot did a panel with Peterson about identity and about AI and technology, and I clipped some of that, and I think that's probably going to be in this video. I haven't edited any of the stuff, so I'm having to like think through what I'm gonna put in this video. And that was actually pretty good. And then there's just a lot more hangout, and you'll hear. You already heard. Well, I'm gonna put it at the end. So if you made this far, the last thing is gonna be Paul's critique of ARC. I did one question with Paul at the end of the day, and he really let ARC have it. So, you know, so we'll see. Let us know what you think in the comments, and hopefully it will make more sense to continue aiming at my goal of connecting to the people here that connect to the people there. And anyways, so yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow.